around the corner. How much are you looking forward to that vibe and you guys collectively going out to dinner and doing other things?
It's important. The road is a lot of times where you end up defining yourself. It's a lot of times where you end up finding yourself because it's you against the world out there. It's your group that's on that bus, in that locker room, on the plane, and when you land, you're in a different city, and when you walk into that arena, it's you against them. So for us, I think you find out a lot about yourself on the road, and I've always thought that even since being a player. Like being at home, there's a comfort in different things, and this building is incredible. So the fans are incredible, but on the road, we have to find the joy in going in someone else's building and handling our business.
Trey had mentioned that you took him to an escape room on the road. Like, how'd that come about? Like, what was that like?
I always wanted to do one and check it out, and I never had. And I just had the thought, like, we were supposed to practice, and then I was just like, this is a mental practice. And we grouped them up together, and it was about communication, about team building, about being there together and trying to figure something out, and really trying to, we're going into a gym on the road. It's an escape room. We have to figure out how to get out of here with a W. And that was kind of the messaging, and they really had a good time. There was a lot of cheers. My team came in last, but we were in the hardest room from my understanding. But it was a lot of fun, man, a lot of fun.
When you look at the game in Milwaukee without Malik and just sort of the lack of, you needed his energy, it felt like, on the court. How hard is that to find a player that brings that type of energy? And you guys had one in Bobby.
Yeah.
But how do you find that, and how do you, when he isn't there, how do you replace that?
It's hard to replace. First of all, you just have to do it together. Everybody grabs arms and pulls together. But when you find a player like that, you respect them and love them because they're special, because they bring something that I can't really put into numbers. I mean, his numbers, Malik's, have been fantastic, but I don't really put into numbers what he brings to the team. He brings a swagger, he brings a confidence, he brings a joy and a relaxation that you can't make it up. You can't fake it. It's him, and that in and of itself to me is big time. That goes beyond basketball, but he does it on the court as well, which is really, really big for us.
How much as a coach now it's natural for us and fans to look well, this stretch is going to be so important for them over the next couple of weeks, and you have so many road games and things like that, and you guys are such a day-to-day operation. Is there kind of a juxtaposition of you as a coach now from not looking too far ahead?
I guess, like, when I was assistant coach, I'd have to look ahead, like, for my scouts. For now, like, I just figured out it was Saturday. Somebody said it was Saturday. So, you're just locked in. You don't really pay attention to that too much. So, like, I kind of have an idea of who we're going against and I watch so much basketball that I'll see it, we play them next Wednesday, we play these guys Thursday. So I see it, but I try to stay locked in that when I leave out of the coaching room, I have those two pieces of paper with me that make me comfortable to be able to give our guys the best chance to win. And that's my only focus for that particular day. When it's over, I put it down, load my computer up, and then I sit down and I start on the next opponent. And I have a couple guys that I meet with in the mornings, and we sit down and we just devour it until I'm comfortable. And then once I am, I deal with the guys, and they're the ones that do all the work. I just try to put them in positions to be great.
So can you briefly talk about some of the responsibilities you had as an assistant to what they are now as a head coach?
Just like not a lot to a lot. The head coach responsibilities is crazy. I mean, from media to, dealing with just certain things on a day-to-day basis. Like, texts are constantly coming in. Like, it's a lot to deal with, but I truly enjoy it. I see it as a challenge to always try to improve in every single area and every single discipline. So as an assistant coach, I had responsibilities, but they weren't like this. It was, I'd scout. I didn't do as much. Let me just say it that way. And now there's a lot more to do, but I also have a great support system and a fantastic team that has my back. Like, those are the things that I understand. It's not about me. It's about them doing their jobs at really high levels, communicating at a high level. That's what makes everything work. I am the person that gets up here and talks. There are things that I do, don't get me wrong, but I also respect and appreciate everything that everybody else does at the same time.
How have you handled just you guys had some success since you're taking over. Loved ones, friends, families, acquaintances reaching out and congratulating you for the start. How do you kind of handle that bombardment as well?
It's part of, since I was probably 16 years old, somewhere in there, when all of a sudden things started happening for me in the world of basketball. If you ask any of those guys, like, that's kind of what happened. So you learn how to navigate and deal with that. And I didn't have text and all those different things, so it'd be a phone call or letter or something like that. But now with email and all, I respond because I appreciate them all. Without them in my life story, it doesn't happen the way that it happens. Everyone has a part to play in that, whether it's support, whether it's a kind word, whether it's picking me up and taking me someplace because we didn't have money to have, to get me to where I needed to go. So in that, everybody has something. So I appreciate everything that comes my way when it comes to that, and I don't overlook that because it's part of my story.
How difficult has it been to hand off some of your other responsibilities and then have the trust in the guys around you to, manage them, but also know that you're getting what you need from them?
Interesting question. I would say that I make sure that I cover all my bases. I think that is like a responsibility that you have to have in this position, because just say somebody doesn't do what they're supposed to do, it's still gonna fall on me. So I just make sure that whether they do it or whether they don't do it, that it gets done.
Yes.